Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our panel this afternoon, The Onshoring Renaissance, Northern Mississippi's Strategic Edge. We are so happy and grateful to be here with you all, and so happy to share about the amazing opportunity to invest and also to set up renewable energy solutions in Northern Mississippi. And we have an incredible panel of experts in the fields to share our solutions with you and also to share about this amazing opportunity. So to begin, I will be your moderator for today. So happy and grateful to be here. My name is Maren Ryan Sarif, and I am with Lightspace. We are a regenerative real estate consulting agency, and we help to connect real estate properties and bioregions with climate tech solutions and regenerative systems and solutions to protect and uplift the sacred biospheres and also the communities that we are serving and that they are serving. So I'm so happy and grateful to be here with an incredible lineup of fellow superstars, and so grateful for Anna Cardona and for the Tate County Economic Development Foundation for the invitation to moderate this panel. Thank you so much. And so grateful to Anand Singh and to the entire team at Davos Worldwide for this incredible opportunity to share this beautiful opportunity, as well as the trend of the onshoring renaissance in the United States, especially at this time. It's a very auspicious and prolific time to be hosting this panel and to share this amazing opportunity with you all at the Davos Worldwide community and beyond. So thank you so much. So happy and so grateful to be here. And without further ado, I'm so happy to introduce our panelists, and they will be introducing themselves to you. And so my question to all of you beautiful panelists is please introduce yourselves with your name, your companies and your role, and what are the challenges that you are solving with the onshoring renaissance, and what are the solutions that you are providing? And we do have multiple questions, so we'll get more in depth on the solutions, and also there's such an abundance of solutions on this panel. So I'm so happy and grateful to be here with all of you. And please, if you could get us started, Anna, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. My name is Anna Cardona, and I serve as Executive Director of the Tate County Economic Development Foundation here in Tate County, Mississippi. The county seat is Senatobia, and we are just 30 minutes south of the Memphis, Tennessee border. I'm working to bring prosperity to all residents of Tate County by focusing on foreign direct investments and onshoring. Like you said, Marion, now is the time. It's an auspicious time with our new president and a renewed focus on America and the strength of manufacturing and renewable energy that we have. So we're very excited to be on this journey with you on this panel with all of the panelists. Thank you so much, and so grateful to be here. I'll kick it over to my colleague, Ryan Miller, to introduce himself.
Yeah, thanks, Anna, and thank you, Maren, and certainly to the Davos team. What a joy and a privilege it is to get to share in this event. My name is Ryan Miller. I serve as the CEO of the Oxford-Lafayette County Economic Development Foundation here in Oxford, Mississippi, which is home to the University of Mississippi, or Ole Miss as some know it, an R1 research institution that certainly provides a world-class education to thousands of students every year, and is only a stone's throw from my colleague Anna Cardona in Tate County. In fact, we're two neighbors in our contiguous counties. My role, and certainly my focus in this position, is to find more ways to bring innovative high-tech jobs to what I would refer to North Mississippi as being the kaleidoscope of the state of Mississippi, and really honestly the southeastern region. There's so much that this part of the country brings, both in terms of culture, certainly in terms of its beautiful abundance in geography, and wanting to find the right fit for investment, as Anna has described, that brings new and innovative high-tech opportunities to our people and provides a marketplace that perhaps Mississippi has not had as much of experience and exposure to in the past. So I'm certainly delighted to serve in that role. I am new in this position, having come from the state level, where I was the executive director for the Office of Workforce Development for the state of Mississippi. But my passion is in Oxford and Lafayette County in North Mississippi, and I'm excited and delighted to be here today to talk and to try to find a roadmap forward for all of us. So thank you for the opportunity to do so. I guess I'll turn it over, maybe Darren, if you can go next.
Yeah, it sounds great, Ron. Thanks so much. Thank you for everybody having me today as well. Glad to share our insights. RW Energy is a company focused on energy parks, and where we serve is project development and solving the dysfunction and barriers that come with energy expansion projects. We're a US-based company, so we're focused on onshoring here in the US, and we see the opportunity to continue to grow, as Anna mentioned, with the current administration, the opportunity for energy expansion and the renaissance of northern Mississippi. So glad to share some more insight, Maren.
Thank you, Darren. Fabulous. And Dick, would you please share your introduction and about your amazing company?
Yeah, Dick Martin here. I'm the executive chairman of FuelX, kind of written like SpaceX, fuel with an X on it, and we're Innovation Inc. So we are one of the hydrogen storage materials. Everybody's heard about high pressure hydrogen, of course, and the liquid hydrogen. And there's one more, which is solid state. And it's one atom of aluminum and 3 atoms of hydrogen. And when it's bound, it is so bound, it's more energy dense than either of the other 2 storage methods. And when you heat it up, then the hydrogen goes away. You're left with aluminum. You redo that aluminum. And so that and the safe, and the only thing that has been a problem with it before has been too expensive, but we have figured out how to do it commercially available. And so now we're about to move into Tate County and set up our operation there. So we're looking forward to that. And that's where we're ready to talk about that today. Okay.
Fabulous. Thank you, Dick. And thank you everyone for your beautiful introductions. It's such epic synergy with everyone here together. And I love the magic that convenes with these panels, especially with Davos Worldwide. It's always such epic synergy, and I'm excited to dive in with you all. So to begin, Anna, since you had the vision for the onshoring renaissance and for the title of this panel, and you are leading the vision for Tate County and for Northern Mississippi and the Northern Mississippi Regional Alliance that's forming. And if you could please share your vision for the onshoring renaissance, and also why is this important now? And how and why is Tate County and Lafayette County in northern Mississippi the perfect place for this onshoring renaissance to happen? And how are you welcoming companies like Darren's and Dick's to northern Mississippi to lead in this area for the United States and for the world?
Thank you. Well, I see the onshoring renaissance as representing a pivotal shift in global manufacturing and supply chains, where businesses bring production and operations back to the United States. The movement emphasizes economic resilience, national security, and a creation of high-quality jobs, reversing decades of offshoring. By investing in advanced manufacturing, automotive, and workforce development, the onshoring renaissance can rejuvenate American industry, create equitable economic opportunities, and foster sustainable growth. Why that's important now is because of the global supply chain vulnerabilities with the COVID pandemic, the geopolitical tensions and disruptions in the global logistics. We've exposed fragility in our international supply chains, and so onshoring offers better control and security over production. It also strengthens the U.S. self-reliance in critical industries such as semiconductors, pharmaceuticals, and defense. The onshoring renaissance is also an opportunity to create a new generation of manufacturing jobs and foster skills and development, such as Dick's company with FuelX, creating innovative jobs in renewable energy. Also focusing on sustainability, we bring production closer to domestic markets, and companies can reduce their environmental impact in long distance shipping. We also have the North Mississippi is perfectly positioned to lead the onshoring renaissance, and that's because of proximity to the major transportation hubs. Because Northern Mississippi is located so close to the America's distribution hub, Memphis, Tennessee, and vital logistics arteries, including Interstate 55 and Interstate 22, also in connection to the railways, highways, and the Mississippi River facilitates efficient and distribution and shipping. So we have a lot of opportunities here. In addition to the workforce potential that we have, Northern Mississippi benefits from programs at the Northwest Mississippi Community College and Ole Miss. And there's a labor cost advantage compared to other parts of the country. Mississippi offers a very competitive labor cost structure while maintaining a commitment to workforce development. So as you can see, there's a lot of reasons why Northern Mississippi is the best place to onshore for new companies or existing companies looking to scale.
Wow. Thank you, Anna. That was so much beautiful, comprehensive information about Northern Mississippi. Thank you so much for sharing that. And before we move on to the next question, Ryan, do you have anything to add to that as Anna's colleague and resident of Northern Mississippi?
Yeah, no, just to lend my voice in solidarity with what Anna described. I think North Mississippi is unique in many ways to the rest of the state, but really even to the southeastern United States, both with its proximity to those instrumentalities of interstate commerce that are hugely important to industries that we hope to attract. So I certainly echo her sentiments, and I'm grateful that we do live here in an area that can take advantage of that level of connectivity, and I think that there's so much possibility, and there's so much just opportunity in this that it's exciting even to have the conversation of how we might coordinate those better.
Wow. Excellent. And yes, that's exactly why we are here as well. And I'm so grateful for both of you for leading this charge in Northern Mississippi and inviting companies like Darren's and Dick's and beyond to Northern Mississippi to really capitalize on the opportunities that are abundant and available in your region, as well as enjoy the strategic positioning as we embark on this onshoring renaissance. So thank you so much for sharing this opportunity with us and for creating the space for this panel to occur. Thank you so much. And so with that, with Darren and Dick, speaking about the onshoring renaissance and how each of us is individually empowering and collectively empowering the onshoring renaissance, how are each of your companies positioned to empower the onshoring renaissance, and what lens and position are you taking in this paradigm of onshoring, and how are you empowering companies, and how is your company empowering the entire paradigm? And perhaps we'll start with Darren, if that works well. Thank you.
Great. I'm excited to hear Dick's perspective as well as we go forward. One of the things we see is standing up a supply chain onshore that's been mainly pushed offshore over the last several decades, and a real need for energy security locally. So how we look at this is we are a good friendly partner to outside the U.S. groups that want to come into the U.S. because we know the U.S. market, the analytics, the market analysis, the ability to place here, and then where you plug into the supply chain and how far that supply chain may be away from providing you the manufacturing or the parts and assembly you may need to get off the ground. So having that temperature on what the market's doing, but more importantly is the investor support and keeping investors educated. That's a big part of our role, is being able to look through different projects and be able to scope what is the feedstock availability, what's the timeline, cost, expectation, the equipment options you might have to put in place for manufacturing or production on site, and then who's going to transport, store? Are you going to use this by rail, by road, so on and so forth? And then who are your off takers, and are they ready yet in the market? And I think Anna hit it clearly on the head. You're sitting in a very rich position here in northern Mississippi, because just looking to your west, you have the Smackover Formation that was just named the kind of lithium golden mine for the U.S. that you're going to be looking at Standard Lithium and ExxonMobil. Where do they want to partner and go to next? And you have close proximity, way to get to you from rail, from highway. So that's what we try to focus on, is educating the full value chain to make sure those projects come together and go forward.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so necessary in the ecosystem, because it's really, and because I also am in this space quite a bit, is the connectivity piece, and also super appreciate your deep diligence on the logistical aspects of this, and really drilling down on all of the specifics on how companies to implement into certain bioregions, and your deep expertise in this, because that's super needed in the field, and also deeply appreciate your expertise in this and sharing that. Thank you so much, Darren. And now with Dick's company, FuelX, moving on to how an individual company we started with an overview, and now getting very specific about how the specific climate tech companies are empowering the onshoring renaissance with all of the opportunities that you're creating with your company implementing into these bioregions. Dick, would you please share some more?
Sure,
Thank
happy
you.
to. One of the things that makes our fuel green, if you will, is you have to have a green hydrogen. So that's one of the ingredients that has to be managed. And so we have to have a solar panel farm nearby, and that's a property that you have down there available. We have not gone down to walk the sites, but Anna's got some places for us picked out. And when you have the green power coming into your facility, that means your whole system is green. So it's totally benign. And when you're done with the hydrogen, you're left with aluminum, which you use again. So it's quite nice that way. So she has property out there, which is she showed me plans already, and we're going to go down there and look over the sites, pick out where we would go to put our solar farm in, and that would provide the power inexpensively. And if you have your own site contiguous with your plant, then the cost is very low, because you don't have the transmission costs. So that's the whole trick right there. And so when we get that done, then we can go ahead and make our fuel right there. And when it comes to training people, we're good at that. So we always know that we're going to be going to local areas to go put our plants in, because that's the idea. Small modular plants, and they're next to airports, next to depots for refueling trucks, like we're talking about, with FedEx right there in Tate County. And so those are the kind of things you look for, and we found that. And we do know how to train people up, just plain people off the street that are talented, and teach them how to do the operations and so forth, operators for the plant. And so that's a real job generator. And we know we're going to have to do that. We have done that before other places. And so in a different lifetime, I was a nuclear power operator in Navy nuclear power on aircraft carriers. And of course, we took people just like right there from Tate County and trained them in to be operators on nuclear plants. So that's one of the things that I've done lots of. And so we're ready to do that. And looking forward to this alliance that you mentioned, Maren, and that's to put together a fuel cell power system that has our fuel and a fuel cell stack. We're looking at Cummins, which is another nearby Midwest company, And so we have that all put together into this alliance, and they're going to be refueling trucks right there, coming all the way from Los Angeles straight through halfway on into New York and the East Coast. So it's a halfway point that we believe that in our calculations and so forth, we can get 1,000 miles of range. So you only have to fuel once in the Los Angeles, drive all the way there, and refuel right there at Tate County, and go on to New York area. So that's the vision, and we have the people to do that with Tate County, with Anna, and you've been helping too with all the visions of how this comes together. And then we have another partner in Columbus, Indiana, which is not that far away. It's a day's drive to come down. And we're both involved in hydrogen centers with DOE. So there's just a lot of synergy of all these pieces that piece by piece we've put these things together. And now we're ready to integrate it into one big demonstration of here's how it works for the future. And it's all doable too. All these things, there's no super rocket science that has to be done. This now we're down to scaling up and engineering and things like that, and hiring people and training them up and getting them to be good operators. So that's kind of the vision. And you've been one of the instrumental ones in putting this together. So thanks for that.
Oh, you're so welcome, Dick, and thank you so much for that beautiful overview of how you are empowering the onshoring renaissance, and how your company can really single-handedly create so many jobs and so many careers for people, and really be a vehicle and facilitator for an entirely new world and paradigm, for people, for the local community, as well as an entire industry, that Northern Mississippi is really perfectly positioned and poised to empower with renewable energy, with regenerative practices across the board. And before we move on to the next question, I just wanted to share a personal anecdote that really inspires me professionally, and around this particular area. My great grandfather created an invention called Master Lock, and my father's father, built the factory in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, back in the 1920s and 30s, and at a time when the county really needed economic uplifting, and the company itself significantly improved the community and the lives and the careers of people in the community, and is still standing there, and is still there over 100 years later. So I'm really inspired by my family and my lineage when it comes to this, when it comes to the opportunities at hand to really create the companies and the jobs and the careers for people and the community that really comes together around these particular companies, and also around the entire ecosystem that you're creating in Northern Mississippi, with all of the companies and all of the synergies that are being created. And I'm so happy and grateful to be a part of that, and to contribute what I can to this ecosystem sustainably thriving for the next 100 years, and truly 7 generations and beyond, for the benefit of the community and the biosphere. So I'm so happy and grateful with all of this. It's so great. And Dick, thank you so much for creating this company that can do that. With your long and esteemed career that you didn't even really get into. You're a super OG in the space. So just really deeply appreciate you, and thank you for your lifelong devotion to the creation of these companies and to the advancement of humanity, with innovation, and also with these pioneering technologies and techniques that can really significantly transform global industries. So thank you so much. I really deeply appreciate your work, and you, and thank you for being on this panel. Thank you so much.
Well, good. Thank you very much. So I really believe that we are leading the way into the hydrogen future. I mean,
Certainly.
right now you have liquid hydrogen, which has to be minus 253 degrees C, And so it'll boil off if it gets a little bit hotter than that. And so if you have an airplane with liquid hydrogen, which is one of the favorite things to do right now, that now you have to capture that boil off if the plane is sitting on the ramp at Phoenix or someplace like that, and capture that hydrogen and refreeze it, if you will, and then put it back in the airplane. So when you take off, you get a full tank. So those things are not very practical from an operational point of view and a safety point of view. But the solid state is ambient temperature and pressure, and then when you heat it up, that's when the hydrogen comes out. So it's safe and not going to explode, that's for sure. And if you have a crash somewhere, that is not going to explode like it does if you have a load of jet fuel, that type of thing. So it's very magic. And the only thing is it's been expensive to make, but we figured out how to beat that. And so now we just have to scale up. And part of that scaling up is going to be right there at Tate. From going from right now, we have a lab level in Aiken, South Carolina, which is a headquarters for Savannah River National Lab. That's the Hydrogen Center of Excellence for DOE. So our leading scientist comes from there. And he and I have been working on this for several years now. And so that's from that scale, we're going to go to the pilot plant, and that'll give us enough fuel to make test runs with trucks and things like that, and airplanes and beyond. So those are the kind of things that are going on, are really exciting. And like I said, we do not have to invent new physics or anything like that. It's just engineering and training people and being diligent and careful, and make sure we don't do anything that's not going to be good to the environment, which not. And so it's very much ready to go. And now we just have to work hard and pay attention. Okay.
Awesome. Yes, certainly. That's why we are all here. And thank you everyone for doing that and for collaboration. And on that note, with Anna and Ryan as twinning executive directors of neighboring counties and leading the charge for Northern Mississippi, what I'm curious, what are your priorities for Northern Mississippi for what you're to achieve your vision of the onshoring renaissance and also being a renewable energy capital of the United States and beyond, and implementing regenerative practices? What are your priorities for your respective counties and also for Northern Mississippi? And then how are you working together to achieve your goals? Thank you.
I'll
Anna,
take
would you like to
yeah,
start?
I'll take the lead
Fabulous.
on that. So our priorities revolve around fostering regional collaboration to achieve sustainable economic growth, improve the quality of life, and maximize shared strengths for our communities. We are recognizing that our counties are interconnected, and what benefits one county also creates opportunities for the other. By aligning our efforts and our regional unique assets, we can amplify our impact and create competitive region that attracts businesses, jobs, and investments. So our joint priorities are mainly attracting and retaining industries. Currently, all of the industries, the companies in Tate County are scaling and receiving expansion incentives. We're also creating regional workforce development training programs and finding ways to engage the youth. We're also interested in creating a regional infrastructure needs assessment. We have a lot of broadband expansion going on in the area, so we're working on that together, in addition to small business and entrepreneurship support, creating buy local campaigns. We're looking at creating a strategic regenerative and development plan for the county and for the North Mississippi region. And this would focus on sustainability and resilience, creating diversity, equity, and inclusion, and making sure that Tate County and the Northern Mississippi region is future ready for jobs and investment from onshoring.
Yeah, and I'll just join with Anna here and certainly again echo her sentiments and certainly some of the strategies she enumerated. You know, I think so often individual economic developers like Anna and myself tend to look at themselves in a bubble of their own community and maybe even their own county. And I think you're certainly starting to see where we're concerned in North Mississippi, a desire to recognize that we all win together regionally when whether it's Lafayette County, Tate County, Panola County, those counties that are contiguous and in close proximity to some of those large interstate or instrumentalities of interstate commerce, if we are collectively identifying opportunities as a coordinated footprint, we all win. We all stand to actually benefit from that. And so certainly wanting to echo those sentiments. And I'll give you some concrete examples of that. So in Tate County, where Anna's located, she has the home of Northwest Community College. And in Mississippi, there are 15 community colleges throughout the state of Mississippi. It's actually one of the more robust and well-resourced two-year school systems in the entire country. And those two-year systems are primarily responsible for career and technical education and workforce training, partnering with industries to ensure that they have the customized approach to whatever that industry might need. And Northwest in particular has the largest geographic footprint of all the community colleges in the state of Mississippi. It's probably one of the most maybe the best resourced, and has leadership there that understands that so much of their calling is to work with industry to develop curriculum and training apparatus that would give their students real world experience, real world training that is easily transferable to the industry with whom they're working. And so Northwest is one of the best at doing that. And that's right there across the street. In fact, Anna's sitting on that campus right now. She has a tremendous relationship with them. And from my perspective, my office is right across the street from the University of Mississippi. And on that campus, you have this amazing globally recognized Center for Manufacturing Excellence. Now, this is a program that brings students from all over the world. I mean, as far away as South Africa, Nepal. I think they've actually had students from South America that have just recently applied, and it's for business, accountancy, and engineering students learning the modern trends of manufacturing. And these are students that are the best and brightest as it relates to much of what I think the businesses in this panel and certainly in this conference are focused on. How do we become more efficient? How do we become more effective? And how do we take our products and our services to a larger marketplace as quickly as possible? So, you know, from our perspective of Tate County and Lafayette County, it is finding ways in which we can focus those resources collaboratively, you know, using our educational touch points, using our connections and resources with the state of Mississippi as it relates to economic incentive and workforce incentive. And I think that though Anna and I are newly acquainted over the last few months, I think we've hit the ground running. And I think if you can, if any company that might be listening or might be interested in this discussion, I think if you come and visit, you will quickly see the connectivity that we're describing. And I honestly think that the benefit that connectivity provides is very visible from when you see resources that might be at the community college or a four-year institutions. But suffice it to say, we have a lot of opportunity to focus additional resource in a way that I think would be beneficial, certainly to the companies interested, but also to the people that we answer to in our community. So it is exciting. I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to partner with Anna and look to those innovative companies that see a new marketplace for them in the Southeastern economy.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your manufacturing center there at Ole Miss? I wasn't familiar with it.
So absolutely. It was created in 2008, but accepted its first class of students in 2011. And so truly every year they have students who are pursuing a bachelor's in accounting, a bachelor's of a multitude of engineering disciplines, a bachelor's of business administration, and even liberal arts-based programs that students are pursuing their bachelor's degree, but they get an emphasis in modern manufacturing. So they take upwards of 21 hours of process flow, standardized work, factory floor layout, They're doing Kaizen events at many of the industry partners that we have throughout the state of Mississippi, whether it's automotive, whether it's Milwaukee Tools, an example. We've had students up in DeSoto County and Tate County that have worked in manufacturing environments there and have done Kaizen events, all while they're undergraduate students. So this isn't even a master's program, although they are in the process of developing and finalizing a 2-year master's degree for this program. It is, and I'm biased because I started my career working there. It is probably as innovative an academic program at any 4-year institution anywhere in the world as I've ever seen, because it absolutely is a modern languages program. It's teaching business-minded students to speak the language of engineering, and it's using engineering-based professionals and teaching them the language of business, and manufacturing tends to be the Rosetta Stone. So this is an example of a program that if a company locates in North Mississippi, they've got a direct connection with an unbelievable resource for talent, for innovation, for again, continuous improvement opportunities. And when you couple that with a Northwest Community College that has cut its teeth on developing customized workforce training for companies, both of those programs working intertwined, I think you stand to find the people that you need with the skills that they need in perpetuity. So it's exciting, and I think that's a benefit and an advantage that we offer that so many other places can't tout.
Well, in my business, you're always refining the process anyway. You start out and you never quite end. You're always looking for a better way to make the automation for moving things from A to B. Part of our work is going to be very much robotics, because we're going to have small modular plants. We're not going to make a huge plant like a gasoline cracking plant or something like that. It's going to be
Right.
5,000 metric tons. That's 5 million kilograms per year, and that's
Gracious.
just one module. It doesn't take a lot of land to put that much on. So when you want to have more production to respond to market forces, or more fuel and more trucks and more whatever, airplanes and things like that, that you don't try to invent a bigger plant to do that, because that's wasteful and hard to do, to scale up chemical processes like that. Or we have one chemical process, but we also have an electric process coming on, which is what we call direct synthesis, and that's going to be even more efficient and cheaper fuel and easier to do, and smaller capital needed to go put the plant in. So this whole process of continuing to improve and so forth is never ends in this business, you know.
Continuous improvement is certainly a philosophy that we live by too, so I understand that.
Yeah. So that's good. Nice to know about that.
Yes, sir.
Certainly. And it's really, when I thank you so much, Ryan, for sharing all of that, and Anna, and because it's really, in my line of work, and I look forward to hearing Darren's reflection on this as well. I've worked with multiple bioregions as well as regenerative real estate properties globally, and really the ecosystem and the support with the education and the training and the infrastructure already there truly is a major strategic edge. And especially with onshoring and manufacturing and the onshoring renaissance, there's certain key points in the United States that are perfectly positioned for this, and it's so illuminating to learn about how Northern Mississippi has this infrastructure and is also welcoming and providing so many incentives for companies to set up their companies and sustainable infrastructure in Northern Mississippi as well, to foster and to nurture what's already there. And the interest of students in particular is so key, because it's really training the young workforce and implementing these programs, and everything that you were sharing with the priorities of how to empower the youth and how to empower the local community with the jobs and the training and the resources. It's already there, and so this is a major strategic edge and incentive for companies to come to Northern Mississippi for this, and also why Northern Mississippi is perfectly positioned as the renewable energy capital of at least the eastern United States. with all the companies that are flowing through there. And Ryan, to your point about coming to visit, I was so happy to come to northern Mississippi and to see this in person. And Anna, thank you so much for inviting me at the beginning of the year to really come in person. And I was so warmly welcomed by the community, and the food is amazing. It's the best, like the Southern cooking, and also just the spirit of everyone that's so collaborative and so synergistic and so upwardly mobile with everything, and everyone's really excited to implement these solutions and welcome these companies, because that's also something that I haven't seen everywhere. Not all communities are so welcoming. Some communities like it the way that it is, and I was really so inspired by the people that I met and that you introduced me with, Anna, and I'm so excited with this opportunity in northern Mississippi, because it's truly unique in the United States, and from my line of work and all of the places I've been in the world, it's very unique, and also so warm and welcoming at the same time. So I'm just really inspired by what you're creating, and that you're collaborating together and really forming this Northern Mississippi Regional Alliance between all the counties to support each other, because that's also very unique. Not all bioregions do this, and certainly you're setting a standard and a model for other bioregions to do the same. So thank you so much for your inspiring work. It's beyond inspiring. Thank you so much. And before we move on to the incentives, which I can't wait to get to, because there are amazing incentives in the county, I'm just really curious, Darren, with your line of work and what you've seen as well, with your prolific experience, if you could speak to some of the goals and to the strategic edge as well, that would be wonderful. And also how your company is empowering this as well, of course.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I want to hear more about the incentives too. We always want to hear
Yeah.
about the incentives,
Of
but
course.
the important piece is what already exists, because that's just going to save you on the capital that you need to put in place. It's going to hopefully help with some of your operational costs. Those are really important things. When we looked at northern Mississippi, when we looked at what is being built there, we hear about the college system, which is fantastic. You got an R1 university available to you. You also have transportation plans that Mississippi Department of Transportation put in starting in 2016, that they've had this pathway of improving their roadways and byways, including rail, including waterway, including highway. But one of the big pieces we looked at was wastewater and sewer, right? Those are the things that are the hidden trigger of manufacturing, that where is all this going to go as we need to purge, or as we're producing something new. And the Appalachian Regional Commission put in millions of dollars in this region. We saw that come through the Chickasaw Trail wastewater treatment plant. Walnut Industrial Park had some funding that came through. Sand Creek, even all the way down to Starkville, we saw improvements in what we would focus on infrastructure, right? What is the ground level work that we don't have to pick up on to put our project together? How plug-in ready is your site or your location? Have you developed a super site? So I think these conversations about what exists that you don't have to stand up are so important, because it's all going into the penciling for the investor and the investment group or whoever's coming into the cap table. And then it also helps you identify, okay, if I have an off taker, what's a price I can get to them that makes sense, that actually moves this product on a US soil versus, having a 30% loss offshore. That's some of the things that we look at is having that infrastructure in place. So thanks for asking that.
Of course, and thank you for sharing all of that, because it's really, like, with your expertise, it's super key for identifying and for contextualizing why this is such an important bioregion and such an important and key place for companies to implement their infrastructure. So thank you so much for that. It's very, very enlightening on many levels, and so. Drum roll for the incentives. We're so excited about this. So, merging, since we have 13 minutes left, merging a couple of questions into one. So the Anna and Ryan, with the incentives that Northern Mississippi is providing for companies, and all, if you could please share a bit about the amazing incentives that you're providing for companies like Dick's company with FuelX, and also for Darren as well, and for consulting companies, and if you could provide information about that, and then also And then also, if you could please share about some of the challenges for the onshoring, with the onshoring renaissance, the challenges that you're facing that you're welcoming in solutions, that would be great as well. Thank you so much. Anna, would you like to begin?
Yes, thank you. So here in Tate County, we have a tax incentive of 75% tax abatement for 10 years. This is for businesses locating or expanding to Tate County, and it significantly reduces operational costs and also is appealing to manufacturers, renewable energy companies, and the like. We also offer sales and use tax exemptions and corporate income tax credits. We're also looking at creating green bonds and sustainability initiatives. So green bonds would be companies investing in renewable energy, energy efficient construction, energy friendly environmental operations. They could all access green bonds for financing. We also are in a foreign trade zone. So companies overseas looking to onshore their companies and scale up in northern Mississippi. Tate County in the northern Mississippi region is an excellent place to be for all those reasons.
So I would say, and Anna has been so, I think, progressive, and certainly has been so energetic and a visionary, obviously, for her community in developing some new incentive programs that I think would be very attractive to companies that are looking to reshore. I will own up to the fact that our county is in the process of completely reviewing what incentives we have, knowing they need to be more competitive, knowing they need to be more aggressive, and knowing that they need to just be more innovative. So my hope is that we will have a full slate of local incentives that will be very similar in nature. But I can tell you from a state perspective, that's where I certainly spent the last several years. I can tell you that the Mississippi Development Authority has completely revamped their incentive program through what they call MFLEX, which passed through the legislature just 2 years ago, really under the watchful eye of our Lieutenant Governor, who saw the need for a more systematic and formulaic process by which companies can be very clear about what state incentives that might be available to them through a state perspective. So in being able to braid those funding sources with some of the local incentives. I will also say that from the workforce, I'm a workforce guy, so that's kind of my heart and my passion. The Accelerate Mississippi, which is our Office of Workforce Development, that was the office that I was fortunate enough to go down and create with some amazing, innovative people. There's any number of, or several funding sources specific to workforce training and workforce development that companies can take advantage of. One is known as the Workforce Enhancement Training Fund, where there's roughly about $28 million a year that's made available through our community college system. When a company has a workforce training need, a company can ask their partnering community college, in this case, Northwest Community College, to help them devise new curriculum, procure new equipment, and basically deploy that curriculum in a real-life environment. And it would not cost the company any money to be able to get that up and running. So workforce enhancement training funds are available through the community college system. Another is what we call Mississippi Works, which is a workforce incentive, or that's not an incentive, but it is a resource that companies can take advantage of through the Office of Workforce Development, Accelerate Mississippi, that can go straight to the company for offsetting cost associated with training and ramping up their production. So coupled with the local incentives, certainly what Mississippi Development Authority would offer, and some of the training dollars that are available to offset cost to a company, I would say that there's a lot of opportunity there for companies to come and have a much better and more less of a stressful financial first ramp up to their relationship with North Mississippi. I'll just say, and kind of kick it off and then flip it back to Anna in terms of challenges. I would say just personally, the challenges that I think we face is finding the right companies who are innovative that provide these job opportunities to help give reason for these young students that are here in my town here in Oxford, Mississippi, and certainly even at Northwest and in Tate County and Senatobia. They want innovative companies to go to work for. I have talked to many college students here who have said if there were more opportunities to work for companies that we know are have an innovative product, have an innovative service, certainly are more community minded and community focused, they would have a greater reason to want to stay and invest themselves and their careers in this region. And while I think our region in particular, contrasted to the rest of the state of Mississippi, has more of a positive population growth. We're growing, whereas other parts are not. This is still a challenge. It goes back to my Kaizen thought of continuous improvement. We're always looking for ways to improve how we create opportunities and reasons for these young, innovative minds to stay here and invest themselves in the local community. So my plea is, we're ready for those companies to step up and say, we want to be a neighbor in your community and give students a reason to want to stay here, put their roots down here. That's a challenge, but it's not an insurmountable one. It's one that I think Ann and I are both excited to tackle together.
Absolutely. And I would say from my perspective, one of the challenges that we face is we're blessed with a beautiful, open-minded board who is looking for innovative solutions. And so we're providing these innovative solutions through Lightspace, through FuelX, through our work with maybe sister bioregions in Miami or Austin. It's education, right? It's getting everybody educated on, okay, what are the best practices? What is the most innovative models? And educating everyone on how do we tailor this to be North Mississippi, a fit for North Mississippi, and how do we educate ourselves so that we all understand where we were, where we want to go, and where we're heading.
Well, let me put a plug in for
Beautiful.
you, Hannah, because one of the things that you look for is where are the people like you to have vision and so forth. And you're an architect by training, I know. You told me that. And so you're able to picture all these things and kind of like you build houses and things like that. So you've got that visual ability to do that. And now Ryan, we know you, didn't know you before, but that's one of the pluses you've got going for you. You don't realize is you have you two and Anna in particular for putting all this together. And it's exciting because I have lived through different places over the years, and South Carolina is where I'm right now with the pilot plant. I mean with the R&D plant, and so they have a very effective way of taking people and finding out what the companies need. Companies are like Boeing and BMW, people like that, and they actually train up in the junior colleges for those jobs, and it's quite effective. So this could be the next thing you set up, and that makes a lot of sense. So I have a lot of encouragement from just this panel hearing about these things, and I hear you talking about them, but being immersed in a panel where you really are paying attention and see how it could work. So at any rate, hats off to you and now to Ryan. And so I can picture how all these things fit together as well. And so I was in Austin. I helped start up the software world there, as a matter of fact. So when there wasn't anything there, I mean, that was it. They plowed down fields and built houses, and they said this is going to be where the software world is. San Antonio is where hardware is going to be, and so they mapped that out. So we're at the same stage of mapping this out with all the things you've got going there. So it's exciting to see how this is coming together. Just the organization is part of it. So that's a big part of advertising. What you've got here is you've got inspired and energetic, smart people to go help make it all happen. So hats off to you both. And in particular, it's been fun working with you on this.
Thank you, Dick. I know that your company is a key piece of this strategy. And then with Marin's work with Lightspace and creating the strategic plan for regenerative development and creating these sister bioregions with Miami and Austin, we're really positioning North Mississippi to not only be a major player in the onshoring renaissance, but to be a beacon model for sustainable development for the Southeast region, maybe even the whole country.
Certainly, and it's thanks to your vision for this, Anna, and really inspiring your colleagues and also people who also share the same vision are gravitating towards you, like Ryan and your fellow executive directors in the region, because it's really so wonderful what you're creating and the ecosystem that you're creating, and it's wonderful when your challenges are actually opportunities for
Right.
for other people. So it's wonderful. And to that point, we have 2 minutes left. So I would love to first hear from Darren about how your company can how this is address their challenges or perhaps opportunities, since Dick already shared as well, and then also an invitation from everyone before we conclude would be wonderful. What is your invitation for the community?
Yeah,
Thank you so
thanks.
much.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. No, it's been an exciting conversation. I think the takeaways, if you run into Anna or Ryan, ask them about net metering. If you're doing a project there, I think there's an advantageous piece there that maybe we didn't dive far enough into. Obviously, we talked about the incentives. Some of those are very lucrative. If I can think about workforce development support, without having to come out of pocket for that. And it also shifts some of the responsibility, or a lot of the responsibility, over to the front end of these projects, because to get to workforce, you have to have those projects come to life. And that's where we step in some of our work, is making sure that we're talking about commercial feasibility. Sometimes people use it technology readiness level, but you really want to look at how can you get from bench scale product all the way through commercialization. And that comes with collaboration. You have to use all of these pieces that are being put together in Northern Mississippi to make that happen. You have to be able to test it in the bench, to be able to have the innovation to go into commercialization. So I think the invitation I have here is, this is a dedicated group that has a friendly state for business that's getting support, and then economic development that's been moving at the ground level, that tells me they're serious about making this a corridor for success, and something where if a project that we're working with comes through and comes to this location, we don't have to worry about other people coming, because that's the whole idea of the collaboration. We'll know about the supply chain, the other manufacturers, what other synergies we might have in the region. So that's exciting that conversation's happening versus just a city or a county by county basis. So that should be an invitation to anyone.
Wonderful. Thank you,
Fantastic.
Darren. Anna, please.
Yeah, I will kick it off or round it out with my invitation. Really, the invitation is simple. Just let us get to know us, research us, read about us. We want to be, before this call, you've probably said, where is Tate County? I've never heard of that. So a part of this is just, like I said, education, learning about who we are, where we are, and how we can help you in your business scale, how we can help you in your investments thrive, how we can help the entire region of North Mississippi prosper for all.
Beautiful. Ryan, and then Dick to conclude.
Yeah, so I would just add that I'm grateful for the opportunity to discuss these things today. I do think there's so much opportunity, and it is truly our effort is one of coordination, consistent communication, and I think that with the resources we have, and I think with the proximity and geography and where our footprint is, there really is just so much opportunity to grow innovative industry footprints that benefit our people, but also provide for resources that I think the world needs. And so it's just exciting. I would just impart to any company listening that has an interest, please come visit us, and we can show you firsthand what we're talking about.
Okay, let me finish up then. When I think about these kind of meetings and everything, you think about this is where it all starts. And so I was fortunately part of the setting up the Top Gun school in the Navy and so forth. And the thing we say there is no points for second place. So all the ingredients are here, and all we got to do is make sure we just keep focused and push ahead hard, and I think it's going to happen. So all the ingredients are here. No points for second place.
Beautifully said, Dick. Thank you so much. And also thank you so much everyone for participating in this panel. And thank you so much to Davos Worldwide and to the team for hosting us. And invitation is to get involved, learn more, and celebrate Northern Mississippi.